Hey you guys, I'm back. This is Douglas Hall with Chosun Nights. This is part two of the video that I said I was going to talk about, what if there's no K-pop at all? So let's just move on to it. We already talked about the history. Now we're going to move on to the impact with and without K-pop. So here we go. On to the cultural, economic, and political impact of K-pop. The following information I'm about to give here is only a mere fraction of K-pop's overall impact. Although most of this and K-pop's influence in general is positive, yet there are also some negative effects too. And believe it or not, K-pop actually has a strong fan base in the other half of the Korean Peninsula, North Korea. I actually watched it, and believe it or not, it might actually be true. The fiction, no, let me phrase that. Most likely to be true. The fictional example of BTS Army in North Korea in the Korean drama Crash Landing on You might actually have some truths to it in the real world. Even North Korea's his supreme leader, Kim Jong-un, appears to like K-pop to at least some degree, as he even watched the K-pop concert in Pyongyang in April 1st, 2018, which was just prior to the first Inter-Summit Korean summit between Kim Jong-un and South Korean President Moon Jae-in. Korean K-pop, however, was also used as a political propaganda weapon between the two Koreas respectively. It was also used between South Korea and Japan back in 2016 when China banned all Korean media broadcast and K-pop concerts in response to the THAAD missiles deployment. The THAAD is an anagram or short for Terminal High Altitude Area Defense. Even former US President Barack Obama even noticed and commented the impact of K-pop on the global stage during his official state visit to Korea back in 2002. K-pop is supposedly even a positive factor to gradually reducing the old pre-World War I colonialism, especially in Southeast Asia and parts of South America and the Middle East even. There is, however, also some concern about bringing back the old Victorian era fear of yellow peril in opposition to that positive mindset as well. Although tensions continue to go between South Korea and Japan, K-pop, ironically, still has a positive and also a negative effect in Japan, but I think more positive. While some were having a demonstration protesting against the Korean wave, others have noticed that this is actually proof of the success of the Korean wave throughout the world as it is. And also, a growing number of Japanese people now want to be K-pop artists too, and that number is only continuing to go up. K-pop has also affected economics. The Chinese e-market company Alibaba bought $3 million worth of SM Entertainment stock in order to help their expansion to the online music industry. The number of Chinese tourists to South Korea has increased by 3.8 million people in 2016 compared to whatever the number was back in 2015. The people in Taiwan didn't have a good view of South Korea after 1992, which is when South Korea officially broke off diplomatic relationships with Taiwan in favor with mainland China, but that changed with the interest of K-pop and Korean dramas there. K-pop is also a source of heavy influence for Vietnamese pop music. The people in the northeast Indian states of Manipur, I hope I'm saying that right. If not, I apologize. Have also turned to Korean pop culture for their entertainment needs when the area banned Bollywood movies. That's the history and the impact of K-pop. Now let's talk about the impact of the possibility where K-pop doesn't exist at all as we know it. I always want to do that. Now, these possibilities are a mere point or just a mere amount of what it could be like without K-pop. So South Korea in particularly wouldn't be strong as it is today. The South Korean economy wouldn't be as strong as it is today, although South Korean tech companies like Samsung and LG have contributed to South Korea's overall current states and soft power and all that, but that alone wouldn't be enough. And tech companies wouldn't be big as they were today. In fact, I think Samsung even helped try to contribute to BOA's initial entry point into the English language and music department or market. So, and also, like I said, because of that, and that's just one example of how K-pop is a big part of the South Korean tech companies' businesses. The South Korea's government, politics, power, or influence, it also wouldn't be strong where it is today. And keep in mind, South Korea is nowadays widely considered as a regional power with the potential of rivaling Japan. South Korea may be more considered closer to Taiwan in terms of power or influence without K-pop. Now, however, if South Korea were to one day reunify with North Korea, then Korea, after with the influence of K-pop, after reunification, would be a global great power with the potential of rivaling nations like France, Germany, and Russia, or even China, and even outperform Japan. But if there is no K-pop, then a reunified Korea may barely or may not even be able to achieve such a potential success upon reunification. South Korea would also have less bargaining power in international relations. So without K-pop, this will apply to both friends and rivals alike. The global entertainment would also be different too. K-pop also expanded the global interest and the influence of Asian pop culture throughout the world. So while J-pop did started that trend, but K-pop made it even bigger or solidified it. And there may be even more political and military tensions, especially in East Asia. Now, keep in mind, this is just one possibility in a world without K-pop. And yes, there could be many, many more. So, hopefully I gave you guys some ideas of what that could be like. And so, thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I said, I'll try to keep making more videos, and I plan to do so. And I also have other projects in mind too. So, thank you again for watching.